So yeah, so like your main primary muscle group is gonna work out is your chest, but also your shoulders, your triceps, you know, is also getting worked out in the process, you know. But a person who doesn't go to the gym wouldn't know that. All right. So basically, wisdom goes into basically experience. All right. So when brothers are saying certain things, especially elders and apostles, when elders and apostles and brothers are saying certain things, they're not just talking out of their ass. They're not just telling you these things just because it sounds good or it makes more sense. They're telling you things because majority of the time they went through it themselves. All right. In order to have wisdom, you have to understand the ins and out of anything. All right. I can't give you understanding if I don't know how to do it myself. I can't break down how to build a car if I don't know anything about a car. All right. Yeah, I might drive one. Yeah, I might know how to put gas in it. I might know how to change the oil. But if I don't know the ins and out of it, I can't give you the wisdom to I can't give you the breakdown and the wisdom to expound on it, you know. But a mechanic, he might be best suited for that. All right. So when it comes to this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, this is the reason why we call it the wisdom. Wisdom is because what? We go through these things. We understand how these scriptures work because what we went into them. Just like the Church of Berea in the book of Acts has says what? They searched the things that Paul was preaching to see whether things is true, and they came out to be true. All right. So when our apostles and our elders tell us, hey man, listen, don't take our word for it. Hey, go look up these things for yourselves. Go into the history. Go read about Alexander the Great. Go read about the Bourgier family. All right. Go read about the Persian Medo Empire. All right. The Lacedaemonians. All right. Go read about these certain events and compare it to the scriptures and once you come out with the same exact conclusion that we came out, if the Spirit is dealing with you. All right. That's another thing too, man. The Spirit has to be dealing with you. Okay. Because in order to have knowledge, listen, the word knowledge basically means to know. You can have knowledge but not have wisdom. All right. Knowledge is just basically, listen, I know what to do. But why are you doing it? Oh, I don't know why I'm doing it. I just know what to do. That's just having knowledge. You don't have the wisdom, because in order to have the knowledge and wisdom, you gotta be able to know why you're doing it and know what to do. All right. I know 2 + 2 = 4. Because why? Because if I take 2 of anything and add another 2 with it, I'm going to have 4 items altogether. All right. That's the difference between knowledge and the difference between wisdom. All right. And in order to conduct yourself the right path in this truth, you must have both. All right. It's no one without the other. Okay. So without further ado, I'm gonna just hop straight into the scriptures that I had. Matter of fact, I can start with that Proverbs. This is Proverbs. Matter of fact, Salaki. Let me get something right quick. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh. See, man, so studying is going to give you that wisdom. All right. The more you study, the more wisdom you get. Matter of fact, when at the beginning, when I was talking about being more proficient in the skill, when you're using that skill more and more, that's you studying. All right. You're not going to know these things just by hearing it one time and be like, oh yeah, I can break it down now. No, you have to study. You have to go into it. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you something. You have to do multiple studies. You might break it down. You might break it down one time, and then you might get a premise. You might get a outline of what it's talking about. Okay, I know it. I know what everything is talking about. But can you actually go into it and break it down for someone else to know? You know, that's gonna consist of multiple rehearsing. All right, it's gonna consist of multiple times of going into. Hey, the apostles even say, hey man, listen, we still go in scriptures and find out certain things that's new about it. You know, so how much more you? And the apostles have been in it for 30 plus years, 35, 40 plus years, man. Just to show you, man, this knowledge is forever learning, man. And on top of that, you're gonna forget things, man. You're gonna forget certain breakdowns. You're gonna forget certain words. You're gonna forget certain things that, oh man, I forgot that scripture meant this, or I forgot that scripture it said that, you know, because we're in the flesh. So we're not gonna remember everything. We're not gonna have oh yeah, I went through it once. I have it in my chamber, locked and loaded, ready to use it whenever. No, you have to go through things because you're gonna forget certain things. You're gonna forget certain names. You're gonna forget certain events. So that's why it says, well, we constantly go over it over and over again, man. Apostle Gabar always talks about repetition. He said matter of fact, I think he says repetition is the father of all skill. You know, so in order to have skill, which is, we already looked up, skill goes into what? Wisdom. In order to have wisdom, you must be what? Repetition. You must constantly going over and over and over again, man. All right, and that goes into studying. It says, study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that need not to be ashamed. Right, man. It says a workman need not to be ashamed. Because guess what? If you call yourself a workman, if you call yourself working on a job, and a person comes to ask you a question about the job and you don't know, what the hell? That's gonna look shameful. Just imagine you go to a bank teller and you asking this bank teller about bank questions and they don't know. You can be like, what the fuck? You work at a bank? How the fuck don't you know? You work there. That's your job. That's your profession. How don't you know? Or you ask a mechanic, hey man, why my tire, my wheel keep jerking this way and my wheel keep jerking that way? Why does it do that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. Listen, I can figure it. I can try to figure it out, but I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I'm paying you to fix my car. You can't tell me what's wrong with it. That's shameful, man. That's a shameful act. All right, that's why the scripture says, hey, a workman that need not to be ashamed. Right, man. We shouldn't be ashamed. If the scripture says, man, if a man asking a reason of your face, be quick to give him an answer, man. That's why we stand on the highways and byways, man. To show the boldness of us, to show the boldness that we know that we're confident in wisdom and knowledge and understanding, man. If a person come up to us, we're not going to be stumped by any questions. Because in the book of Luke says what? The Lord gave us the tool. Basically, the Lord gave us the wisdom in our mouth that our adversary should not be able to gainsay nor resist. So we have the knowledge, the understanding, and the wisdom. The Lord gave it to us to answer all things. We understand, sir. We understand how to break down. As a matter of fact, we got some brothers that know how to go into other religions and show the faultiness and the flaws in that religion, man. All right. It says, rightly dividing the word of truth, right, man? Rightly divide the word of truth, and one thing, and how you rightly divide, man, is having wisdom, having that experience. Because you got guys out here that's saying the right things, but they're not applying wisdom to it. You got these other camps. No, not some of these camps. They're not even saying the right things. They're telling you to go off. But you got some guys who will tell you, oh yeah, you can do all this up under the sun. It's all righteous. But guess what? He doesn't have the wisdom to apply it in the direct way, the right way. Yeah, man. Hey, bro. You can have X amount of wires. You need to put put the letterman to death. You need to do this. You need to do that. But we gotta understand what, man. We're not in that time. We're not in the time to have certain things that's actually righteous in the scriptures. We're not in that time. Yes, scripture says, though it be lawful but not expedient. I butchered it, but basically saying that just because it's lawful doesn't mean that it's beneficial for you to do it in that time. All right, that's where wisdom comes in. That's where wisdom steps in and says, hey, listen, we understand that the scriptures is okay with it. The scriptures is in line with it. But the society that we live in, the kingdom that we live in, it wouldn't be righteous. It wouldn't be wise to do that certain thing. And though it might be righteous, that's where wisdom steps in at, man. That's where the understanding, oh, you know what? Hey, listen, I understand this is righteous, but it might not be wise to do this. For example, man, you might have a woman. No, she doesn't have a man, but her demeanor, her actions, her mentality might have it's pointing to a red flag, man. She might be a complete demon. And then you ask a brother, hey, man, listen, she ain't got a man. You think I should deal with her? Hey, bro, she ain't got a man, bro. She free game. But wisdom will step in like, you know what, man? Hey, listen, she might be detrimental to me in this walk that I'm walking. You know, she might be detrimental for me in this walk, man. That's where wisdom comes in. He's like, you know what? It might not be wise to deal with this woman right now. Let me go find somebody else. You know? All right. Hopping back. Now we're gonna hop to Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. It says, wisdom is a principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Right, man? With all thy getting, when you get wisdom, make sure you understand it, man. Just don't be out here just be empty talking. All right, just be talking because you got a mouth. Actually understand and actually comprehend the things that you're talking about. All right, because that goes into profane and vain babbling, man. When you're just doing empty talking. You don't know what the hell you talking about. Matter of fact, we call up here in the Midwest, we call them wing masters, man. You winging it. You just saying whatever comes out your mouth, not having no understanding. Wing masters, man. All right. This is Job's kind of a long one, so I might say that one for last. I'm gonna get Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 21. It says, I'm gonna get 20. It says, therefore the desire of wisdom brings to a kingdom. All right. It says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, which thrones and scepters are basically kingly apparel. You know, a throne is something the king sits on, and a scepter is something the king holds. All right. If your delight be towards that, if that's what you want, if basically riches, man, it's basically pointed at riches. If your delight be in riches, if you want the what's that song? How that song goes? Fuck, how did it go? I want the cars and the clothes, the money and the hoes. Don't you know? I just want to be successful. You know that song that came out like fucking 15, 20 years ago. If that's be your desire, then get wisdom. Oh, I didn't read that part. It says if your delight be in the thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. Right, man. And what's the one thing